we're excited that you guys can make it out tonight. First event in a short while here. And Charles asked me to say a few words about him, and I think I'm going to say something personal. Last weekend, I said personal, everybody got interested. So actually last weekend I had the good pleasure of being in Park City, Utah for my bachelor party weekend. Went skiing. And I had some great people there to watch out for me. I made no mistakes. I had Steve Nicholas there and Charles and a couple others. And I think the fact that we're both here today is because we used the buddy system on the slopes. And we went down a couple of black diamonds, and all of a sudden we fell down the equal number of times. But all joking aside, Charles is a good friend, and of course he works really hard with people against scale at POTR. If you all know, he works full time as a VP for a larger fund. And when he takes time, he comes out and does this stuff. So I'd like to introduce Charles and bring him on board. Come on, Charles. How's everybody tonight? Excellent. Just before we begin, and by the way, after the bachelor party and personal, I was like, what's this all about? But before we begin, Sophia Johnson is over here. She's working for District 19 in the State House. Don't want to forget. And finally, not too bad here. Clint Bullock with the Biltmore Institute is here. Privileged to have you here. Thank you, sir. David Bullock Jr. standing there right here. David Bullock Jr. And forgive me if I missed anyone, I apologize. Doug Ducey, State Treasurer, former CEO of Polestar. Steve Nicholas, former Ronald Reagan in the 70s, right? Our Austin State Chairman Ronald Reagan, our new State Chairman, Robert. We have Anthony Miller back here with one of our charities. Anthony's here. Make sure the pink shirt, glasses, you can't miss him. Make sure you sign his petition. Everything's needed, it must be good. So sign it. Count David Bertolo, right here. It's good to have you here. Of course, Don Miller is here as well. Don? Is that you on James Strock? Of course, James Strock's here, which is awesome. Thank you. So it's a pleasure having you all here. This is our first event of 2013. And we've had a great couple of years, well, 5 years actually. Last year we had Newt Gingrich, Michelle Bachman, to name a couple, Dan Quayle. We just had a really great year of speakers. And Ronald Reagan was our last big speaker we had come in. So we brought some in, we got some more coming. And we're looking forward to a great year. As you know, you go to our website, the www.politicsontheRocks.com, you can find out more information about our group. We have these free events. We kind of go all around the valley, and we'd love to have you come out to future events. So a quick introduction, very simple introduction here. Our new chairman, Ronald Reagan, we go back quite a few years, personal friend. On a lot of levels, we've been to CPAC together. Really neat guy, and I was so excited when he's elected chairman because this is someone that really has it together. Someone with a business acumen, someone that's at Thunderbird right now, studying international business, someone that can come in and unite the party together as one. And he wrote a book recently called Job Killers a couple years ago, which is a great book. You get a chance to go on Amazon, Job Killers, Google it, you'll find it. But it's our new chairman of the Arizona Republican Party, Robert Reagan.
I can't stand and seeing successes. When you start looking at what's happened to our country on a national level, then you see what's happening here in the state. There's a lot of dynamics that need to happen organizationally to make us successful as Republicans. And I know we have a mix here, and it's interesting as you kind of go back and forth what to say in an event like this. But I can tell you that the number one message is that we have to work. We have to work in a way that's organized, that's functional, that's detailed, and we have to do it to protect all the things we care deeply about. So as a chairman of the Republican Party, and how many people in here are Republicans? Raise your hand. Right. I knew a lot would be here. But a lot of times, Republicans don't even understand that there's a Republican Party of elected folks that are the establishment, right? They are the folks that are elected PCs, precinct committeemen, up to legislative district chairs, county chairs, to the state offices. And just in my board, you have the chairman, first vice chair, second vice chair, you have secretary, treasurer, sergeant at arms, a whole bit. And a lot of people don't even know this exists. And so what happens is you may wear the label Republican because you don't know this apparatus exists. The idea of this apparatus is to get Republicans elected. We hear Obama's machine working in a way, we've heard that lots, right? Great technology, effective grassroots game. Well, the Republican Party has thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that are on the ground willing to work hard. And so the idea is to mobilize them in a very effective way. In our state, we have 3,259 precinct members. These are what we would call the grassroots people. They're gathering signatures, they're trying to get voter registration, they're doing all these things. So now, as a state party chairman, you come in and say the goal is the Republican victories, right? Why do we want Republican victories?
Keep our money.
Keep our money. Think about this. Do you believe that Republican principles are the best principles to create jobs, prosperity, opportunity, and safety?
Definitely.
That's it. So when we work at a plan that is defined and has specific executables, things that we know we can tangibly accomplish, we can make it happen. Now people have asked me, what are you doing? Okay, so I've been in office really for 4 weeks. Since my election was on January 26th, and I've been in there full-time, 40, 50 hours a week, trying to make it happen, trying to detail what we need to do. The party when I took over was a party that was reactive. So if you wanted something, you called in there and they would try to service you. It wasn't pushing out a plan, it wasn't putting out a vision, it wasn't saying how this is how we win as Republicans. And so the idea is to change that paradigm, right? To make it so that the party leads with a vision and a plan that people can coalesce around. We form coalitions that make it happen. So how do we get people elected? How do people win elections, first of all? A candidate. How does that candidate win? Money and votes.
Results.
Pretty simple concept, right? Money and votes. So right now, when we look at it, our party, how many people think we have a wild majority in the state for Republicans? We don't. It's a couple percentage points. And it's a slim margin. So when I sit back, if you walk in my office at headquarters behind my back, I have an ink board, and on the ink board it says, Agenda for 2013, fundraising and infrastructure. So those are two things. The infrastructure that we're really focusing on is getting out the vote, or to get voter registration. But voter registration is one thing. We get people to register Republican as a Republican voter. But what good is that if we can't get these people out to vote? So to couple the voter registration with data mining, so we know how to communicate with them. We know the message they care deeply about. And we try to motivate people to get out and vote. Republicans in this presidential election have had 3 million less turnout in this last presidential election than when McCain ran. 3 million less. Okay, if we would have had those 3 million votes, how close would that election have been? We probably would have won it. So we have to motivate people in meaningful ways. Jobs, opportunity, prosperity, and safety. This is how we do it. Now the other thing I'll say is our goal for the Republican Party, and AZ GOP here, is that we have a 20% lift in our voter registration. And with that 20% lift, that's 228,000 people that we'll bring to the party here, that will have all the data, will resource it properly, be able to communicate with them effectively. That will raise the Republican majority to over 42% in our state. That hasn't happened in about 20 years. And we can do it. Very specific. The plan is defined. Now it's about execution. Now, here's my favorite little part for you here. I want you guys to think about how you contributed in this last election cycle. We lost ground in the House. We lost ground in our state Senate. We tipped the scale. Now we have a Democrat majority in our congressional delegation. And so you ask yourself, what did you do to affect a good outcome for Republicans in this last election? Hopefully you voted. Did you call anybody? Did you raise money? Did you knock on doors? Did you hand out anything? How did you contribute? There's so many different ways to contribute. But what did you do to contribute to have a good outcome? Were you sending emails out? Were you trying to inform people? And the one thing that is certain in my mind, if we don't become activists rather than just socializing like this, then we fail. We lose again, we lose again, we lose again. And when we lose those principles we discussed earlier. We lose principles that support the things that made this country great. Right? It's when you lose an election, is there a trophy for second place? There is no trophy for second place. We have 6 statewide offices now in 2014. Okay, we have congressional seats that we need to re-elect. We need to tip the scale from 5 to 4 Democrats to 7 to 2 Republicans. And we can do it. The 3 districts that we lost, we should have won. Have that resource, strategy, and plan to make it happen. So together we can do it. It's an exciting time. So I'll be here. I want you involved. If you're not a precinct committeeman, that's the other question I should ask. How many of you are precinct committeemen here? So what, maybe 2%? And it's tough, right? It's more time. But what are you fighting for? Our future. And that's it. And it's right here now. So you can probably tell I'm a spaz, okay? I got a lot of energy. Made sure that we can resource this properly. My family's committed to it. And the goal is to have a great outcome for the Republican Party. We can do it together, but we have to work together. And the key word is work. The other thing, if you look at one of James's titles here, it says serve to lead. You can't lead. You have no power base unless you serve. And this is a way to serve the community. You may have neighbors that disagree with you politically, but you know that if you can install the Republican principles that made this country great, then you're going to protect them and help them. Even if they don't agree with you, you're still help them. And so it's a meaningful way to contribute and to have the best possible outcome. Again, Robert Grant, Chairman of the AZ GOP. We need you. I appreciate you.
Well, it's kind of neat, like, being on the screen, there's a lot of heat coming off this. This is really hot up here. Besides being surrounded by Bob Marley outside as well, so it's not so bad. We're very happy to be here. But we really appreciate you being here, and I want to make a couple of quick announcements about next month's meeting. We have Congressman Trent Francis coming out. I had the pleasure of sitting down with him recently for a couple hours, and he's a really neat guy. Really neat guy. And he's coming out next month, along with Krista Rose, author of Congressman Lincoln, coming out to an event. But, this Congressman Trent Francis represents Arizona's 8th district. We'll be a keynote speaker here next month. In addition, we've got an opportunity for you for a private dinner with Congressman Francis after the event, compliments of our premium sponsor, Patriot Mission. Steve Bowles is the founder of Patriot Mission and a Politics in the Rocks Advisory Board member. If you attended the December event, you'll be with Steve spoke a few minutes before Grover Northwest, and he announced that Maricopa will be one of a handful of counties across the nation to launch the Made in the USA project. And I have a question for you. Are there any small business owners, entrepreneurs in the crowd tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Quite a few of you, right? The Made in the USA project takes entrepreneurs and they bring them into a book that he's putting together. He's putting this book together in every county in the United States. And he's starting in Maricopa County. He's profiling 12 individuals. So what he wants to do is invite 12 individuals to the dinner with Trent Franks, compliments of Patriot Mission next month. I'm one of the individuals in the book. There's about 9 spots left. And if you have a company, you want to promote your company, you want to get your message out, your story about how you started, where you came from, and who you are. This is a good thing to take part in. So we have a little sign-in sheet that come see me after the event. You can sign in for this. But if you're interested in being part of the book, go profile your story. It's not about ego. It's not about telling how great you are. It's about how you got to where you're at. And everyone has a story. Everyone has that upbringing where they got to the spot we're at right now. So anyway, see you after from what we got. But I think it's going to be here at the Montelucia next month on the 28th of March for Congressman Trent Franks and for Krista Rose as well. So thank you for coming out. I want you all to kind of hang out, have some fun, meet each other, tip your bartenders, have a couple drinks, relax. Check out our website, look for our future events and emails, politicsrocks.com. Thanks for coming out tonight. Thank you.